Habarigani, Mainduga na Dada. My brothers and sisters, I would like to share some information with you. Some of you already know it if you've read about it, but I would like to take the time to explain to you the basic obstacle to our coming together in unity to struggle for our liberation. Listen, my brothers and sisters, our actions, our culture, our psychology has been passed on down to us from our ancient chattel slave ancestors. Listen, my brothers and sisters, here is the cause of our separation from one another. Our difficulty in coming together in unity as one. Listen to me. It all begins in slavery, and it is the legacy of slavery, how we act today. You see, my brothers and sisters, during slavery, we were divided by the slave master. Some of us were the field slaves. We chopped the cotton, picked the bananas, cut the sugar cane, grew the rice and picked the rice. We were the field slaves. Then there were some of us who were the house slaves. We were privileged. We didn't have to work in the sun and do what our brothers and sisters had to do. Now listen, we had these two classes of slave. The privileged slave, Lord have mercy, and the degraded slave. Two classes. Now in each of these two classes, we had Uncle Tom, and we had revolutionaries, and we had acquiescers. Listen, my brothers and sisters, all you have to do is open your eyes, and you can see the house slave today, still privileged, politicians, etc., who are house slaves. They have good jobs, sit on boards of corporations, etc. So they are privileged slaves. Then there are the others of us who are the field slaves with poor housing, lack of job opportunity, lack of equal educational opportunity. In other words, we are economically exploited and degraded. Listen, my brothers and sisters, we have these two classes and they still operate today. The field slave and the house slaves. Now the house slaves, they had revolutionaries amongst them. Some of them put spider in the master's soup. Some of them put their bowels in the master's soup. And sometimes some of them poisoned the masters. And then in the house slaves you had the Uncle Tom, the acquiescers, the one who tried to please the boss in every way whatsoever, the one who defended the master, the one who looked out for the master, the one who had the master covered. Listen, my brothers and sisters, those with that psychology and that culture still do the same thing today. Perhaps it's hard to recognize, but all you have to do is open your eye, observe, critically think about it, and then you'll know what's going on. So my brothers and sisters, we have two classes of black people today operating in this cultural context we find ourselves in today. Still being slaves because we aren't free, but the house Negro and the field Negro still exists. And there's a lot of antagonism between them. It seems impossible to transcend and to obliterate. But listen, my brothers and my sisters, we must come together and realize we all have one master. He does the same thing to all of us, but he does it differently. His goal, his intentions are to control you for his economic benefit. I hope you understand now, my brothers and sisters. You house slaves and you field slaves. The modern day black man classes that exist within our black community. So wake up. Realize you're being used. Realize you're still a slave. Realize you need each other to overcome this oppressor. You need oneness. And if not oneness, then those of us who are the field slaves with a revolutionary bent, and those of us who are house slaves with a revolutionary bent, let us come together as one and do what we need to do, which is to free our people, either through total warfare here in the USA or either to separate from them and go to our own land, our own sovereign land. As a matter of fact, the Black Belt belongs to us by international law because it states whoever works the land owns the land. And we worked the land for almost 300 years, about 3 centuries. So it belongs to us, my brother. We just have to find a way, plan, organize, do all the essentials. And then afterwards, my brothers and sisters, after careful discussion and analyzation, we must move as one, proceeding towards the goal that we all agree on, which is liberation, 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 Amanla. We want our freedom. That is our choice, and we'll settle for nothing less. Freedom or death.